What's your reaction to the trade?
I thought it was the right move by the Knicks considering the circumstances. Carmelo Anthony is finally in a position where he's going to be able to legitimately compete for a championship, and I think that's something that his talent demands.
It started off wonderful for Melo.
Inside by Westbrook, keeps it alive. Carmelo Anthony 3.
It's like he was re-energized, or it was like a spark.
Westbrook looks off, has Anthony the trailer. Anthony for three. Get it!
When it first started, things were going smooth. Things were going good. He was looking happy. He was healthy.
Melo's reputation seemed to be recovering, and Knicks fans showed him love his first time back at the Garden.
And up forward at 6'8" from Syracuse, number 7, Carmelo Anthony.
You know, it was cool. You thought they had a chance to be like a dark horse contender, if not a real contender. The defensive numbers were wild. It was really encouraging. They played decently against the Warriors, especially Melo.
Anthony in rhythm. Hits a three.
As the 2017 season progressed, Melo took a back seat to Russell Westbrook and Paul George after speaking to head coach Billy Donovan.
Not every night, I have to score 20 or 30 points. I'm good with that. It's a good feeling as long as we're winning.
People were saying that PG was a little bit uncomfortable playing the second fiddle. And then Melo steps in and say, hey, what do I have to do? I'm going to play behind y'all. Whatever y'all need me to do, let me know, and I'm going to do it.
Apparently, Paul George went and talked to Billy Donovan and voiced his opinion that him and Russ don't really click, and this, that, and third. So all of a sudden, I'm watching the game, and I'm like, okay, I know Melo's going to sub out now because I know he's going to come back in. They switched that into Paul George. And now Melo is playing with Russ, and things started getting awkward. I started to see that Melo's shot attempts is getting lower and lower.
If you have a job and someone tells you, we're going to do this, but it's your first day on the job and they don't explain that to you, it's like, you're not going to know what to do. And you're going to try to fit in somehow. And unfortunately, that's what happened.
Despite only attempting 6 shots in Denver, Melo was fine with his lesser role, as long as the team kept winning.
Not getting as many shots as you typically do. Yeah, I'm good with it. He won. I'm cool with that, man. He had it going. And anytime he had it going, we kind of just got to space it out, play off of him, let him work. And then the ball to find us.
Anthony the straightaway three.
Billy Donovan and Melo said all the right things. It never worked for whatever reason. And a lot of it had to do with the fact Russell Westbrook, who I think the world of, I think he's tough, but he commands so much space on the floor. Either as the floor general, directing traffic, whether it's getting his own shot and more. How does Melo complement that when he's used to having the ball in his hand?
I thought he did the best he could on the fly. And he said it too. He felt like they traded for him with no plan. So he kind of did his best to assimilate to the team and be a good teammate and be a good veteran. I just think when you're used to something for 13, 14 years in your NBA career, and then all of a sudden it snaps like that to something different, it takes some time to adjust and kind of become a better catch and shooter. And a lot of people are like, well, he's never going to do that. It's like, well, you're not giving him any time.
Back in the playoffs, for the first time in 5 years, Melo had something to prove. But as Utah scored at will against the Thunder, it was easy to blame number 7.
Deal also in for the Jazz. Crowder for three. They need him. He has 37 and knocks down 3 right there. He fronted George, and that's what has to happen. Force them to make the pass. So Ingles inside. 7 on the clock. Favors jumper. Got it. Spun right into traffic, but he got it back. Mitchell high.
The whole team didn't play well. Ricky Rubio turned into Magic Johnson. Donovan Mitchell was running around. like Iverson. Rudy Gobert was just destroying Adams.
OKC's miscomings and shortcomings was blamed unfairly on Melo.
I don't think Westbrook and Paul George took enough of the blame for that loss. Paul George was really bad. He was really bad. Melo was really bad. Westbrook was out of control. I mean, there's some games where you can score, 46, but the reason why you lost is probably because none of your teammates were involved or played well.
It appears now that the OK3 season is over. Utah advances to take on Houston.
Kind of challenging for me as far as kind of coming here at the last minute, right before training camp. Being and willing to kind of sacrifice kind of my game and style of play, and coming to a new situation, not kind of not knowing what to expect, having to figure it out on the fly.
I don't know whose fault the OKC experiment was. I don't know if it was. Maybe it just wasn't a good fit. Russ, Paul George, and Melo.
They didn't have a surefire plan. It was kind of like, we're going to try this and see if it works. And they realized early on that it wasn't going to work. And now look at the situation there, and they blew it all up. It's a completely different team.
After OKC failed to properly utilize one of the greatest scorers the game has ever seen, Melo found his way to Houston, where he reunited with former Knicks coach Mike D'Antoni in hopes of being the piece that propelled them to the top.
I just want to cut to the chase. It took an extra season than you expected, but you got Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony, he is officially a Houston Rocket.
How about that? Carmelo in the corner after some razzle-dazzle.
When he first signed him, I was excited. Once CP gets him, it's over.
He seemed like he was the missing piece.
With Carmelo, we feel like put in with our great players, we'll get the most out of him.
But I remember Melo coming to Houston, and I said, this was the perfect fit. James Harden wants to be a point guard. He's got another target he can pass the ball to.
Harden to Carmelo, gathers it, shoots it, scores it.
We know what we're here for.
Carmelo, can he give it to him? Yes, he can.
And then everything just went south.
Is there an update on what's going on with Carmelo?
Yeah, he's sick tonight.
The next game, they said he was going to be out because he was sick. And I'm like, he's sick. This don't sound right. Something is funny. My spirit told me something is wrong, but I just couldn't put I just didn't know what it was.
For just a few minutes ago that Carmelo was informed his time will be ending here soon. Is that inaccurate?
Yeah, that's inaccurate.
After just 10 games as a Houston Rocket, Daryl Morey and Mike D'Antoni apparently saw enough, and the team parted ways with Carmelo Anthony.
You play a game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, your now former team. Y'all lost that night on November 8th. Mm-hmm. You traveled to San Antonio to play the next game. Yeah. And you were informed on the trip to San Antonio. What exactly did Daryl Morey say to you when he met with you?
I was actually in San Antonio, in my room, getting ready for the game. And me and Daryl were supposed to speak that night because I had reached out to him previously about just a heads up me, like what's going on, let me know what I can do. Like, I'm here to help the team. Like, let me know what I got to do. But he had, he came in and he was just like, look, basically your service is no longer needed. And I'm like, hold up, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, nah, things just not working out. And you got to figure out something to do. I'm like, how the hell I'm going to figure something out to do? I got a game tomorrow. Nah, you're not going to suit up tomorrow.
Daryl Morey and the Rockets organization pointed to analytics as the reason they no longer needed Melo's services, but many didn't buy it.
Daryl Morey is always perceived as being very intelligent, and I believe him to be intelligent. I just think that in that case, they didn't utilize him right. Something happened behind the scenes we don't know, and it didn't work out, and he was sitting at home for a year and a half.
A month after Houston signed Melo, assistant coach Jeff Bzdelik abruptly retired. Then, just 8 days after it was announced that the team and Anthony were parting ways, Bzdelik suddenly unretired and rejoined the team in Houston. This is all noteworthy because the two had history dating back to Melo's early days in Denver.
We're very excited about Jeff coming back. You know, he needed the time for personal reasons, and he's taken that. And when that's over, we want him back. We've always wanted him, and he wants to be back. So it's a win-win for all of us.
I immediately thought the Bzdelik thing was an underlying issue that no one was talking about.
The fact that we signed Melo, right, and a day later, Jeff, whatever his name is, retires.
Carmelo's future in the league was in doubt, as false rumors about him were reportedly being spread behind the scenes.
I'm hearing that there's chitter-chatter going on behind Melo's back. I don't know from who, but it's not players. It's coaches, it's GMs. And a lot of people don't realize that sometimes these coaches and GMs have the same reps as one another. So you say one person could say something and it can circulate because that clique is intact and they don't even know whether it's true or not. 10 games in.
10 games in.
A 10-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA player. 10 games and the Houston Rockets said goodbye to you.
Melo is absolutely being blackballed. And he's given too much to the game for them not to allow him to play.
Melo definitely belongs in the NBA, and he definitely got blackballed.
Even if you didn't like his game because it's mid-range based and felt like he didn't fit, he could still have a roster spot between 11 and 15.
Is he being blackballed? Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what he was going through at the time. To be away from the game he loves, just turn on like ESPN and hear people talking trash about him, to go on social media, and him knowing deep in his heart that he could still play.
Just a mix of emotions, like just, you know, just watching all these people say all these things about him and not just giving him any respect.
It's very hard to sit and watch something that you enjoy so much without what makes you enjoy it. So those 12 months that Melo was out, I was out. I boycotted the league. I said, I'm not dealing with this shit because I knew it was deeper than basketball.
That's part of my language. I feel like, I'm not even gonna lie, like to sit there across from the GM president or the GM of the team and him tell you, listen, your services are no longer needed. That was an ego hit. That was a pride hit. Like I felt like I started questioning myself after that. Damn, can I still do this? What did I do? Like I asked him that, what did I do? Oh, you didn't do anything, it's just not working out.
And another question is, while a guy like LeBron is walking around here like he's the face and voice of the players, how is he letting his banana boat brother hang out there in the wings and they go sign Jared Dudley and not Carmelo? If anybody watching this thinks that Jared Dudley can hold Carmelo's jockstrap, I'll slap you.
Half of me believes that LeBron could have did more to help Melo out in regard to that.
If there's anything that came of it that was a positive, was it you know, adversity, it sometimes leads to change for the good. So if there's anything he needed to do to improve his body, improve his game, like check his ego at the door, I think all of that helped him to get to the point he is now, where people are surprised at the success he's having.
After it became clear that Melo wasn't going to be joining his friends Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn, nobody knew what was next for the 10-time All-Star. But Melo stayed ready every single day, waiting for that one call.